Hello, am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so just let me know when I shall start.
Sure, sir.
Sure, sure. সৌমদীপ,
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, তুমি স্ক্রিনটা শেয়ার করো।
ওকে।
আমি start করছি। Am I audible to all?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. So, good morning, everyone. Today is the Gandhi birthday. It's a holiday for all, but not a holiday for us because we are again back with another webinar today. So, today we are organizing a webinar along with our NDLI club of GMIT. And today we are very pleased to announce that my sir, one of our best faculty, Dr. Priyabrata Adhikari, he joined and he is going to deliver you the idea of indoor environment quality on post-COVID-19 era. And I gladly welcome, sir. Welcome to our session. Welcome to this webinar. Sir.
Good morning, everyone. Am I clearly audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
So,
Thank you, teacher in charge, mechanical, and all my fellow faculty members of GMIT Mechanical Engineering Department. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to share my ideas in this platform. Professor Somnath, I would like to ask whether it is only mechanical or it is a mix of many branches.
it's a mix of other students are also present here. Mostly the
So
mechanical students.
different branch students are there, correct?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So it is a very important thing because if we see new education policy, National Education Policy 2020, it is always talking about multidisciplinary environment in education. So it is always better if we have a very good combination of all engineering students. So thank you, Professor Shomodip, for gathering all stream students in this webinar. A few words before I start my exact seminar. Dear students, yes, by stream you are studying only mechanical or only electrical or only electronics or only civil. But when you are going to the industry, actually after your probation or training period, you cannot differentiate that I am mechanical engineer, so I will not take care of the electrical part of a air conditioning unit. I am a civil engineer, so I cannot design the foundation for a DG genset. So in industry, when you are going, it will be 100% multidisciplinary output. A very simple example is when you are going to a general physician, MBBS, he cannot tell you that I will not check your stomach problem, but I will only check your throat problem. First of all, the doctor will do checkup. The doctor will try to give you medicine. Now, if there is some complications, then he will refer to a specialized person. So in my opinion also, all the undergraduate courses other than computer science and engineering should be only undergraduate course in engineering, because then only the multidisciplinary course will be very much successful and it will help the industry in a true sense. I hope students has got my view. If there is any suggestion or objection, please interrupt me and tell me. So from today onwards, do not think as a mechanical engineer, why I have basic electrical, basic electronics subject. As an electrical, why I have fluid mechanics and thermal engineering or power engineering subjects. Because in industry, everything is interrelated. They will give you a designation as junior engineer, engineer, senior engineer, chief engineer, and they will never mention mechanical engineer, electrical engineer, or civil engineer. So please be very, very careful with this particular old mindset. Try to change it as early as possible, because new education policy NEP 2020 is asking for a multidisciplinary approach and multidisciplinary knowledge. Now, why I took this particular topic, indoor environment quality post COVID-19 era. Dear students, we can see a fly is sitting on our food. So we will throw away the full food or the portion of the food where the fly has sat, because we know from the flies the typhoid kind of diseases are happening and spreading very fast. Even for a water, if we cannot see the clarity of the water in the glass, we will not drink it and we will change the water or look for some other safe water sources. So here our eye plays an important role to discriminate which is good for us and which is not good or can be fatal for us. But just give a thought, when you cannot see how detrimental the effect is, when you are continuously breathing in and breathing out, and through your breathing system, detrimental virus is going inside your body and it is causing various kinds of symptoms and at last even death across the world. So dear student, now the entire world has started thinking in a different manner, like we will cover the food, like we will fit a RO, reverse osmosis filter, even in our flat kitchen. I'm not talking about commercial area. I'm talking about normal small 2 BHK flats. People are having their personal reverse osmosis filters to have good quality water. Now time has come so that we can also think for quality of air what we are breathing every moment. Next. Now, just one biological idea why I have started the topic indoor environment quality, and that too post COVID-19 era. Dear student, you must be knowing about the circadian rhythms in human. That is what is commonly known as the biological cycle of a human being. Now this biological cycle, if we try to change, it becomes a boomerang for us. For example, generally, the human being will work in the daytime and human being will sleep at the night time. But there are various jobs like call centers, newspaper printing offices, where the job is at night. Many of my batchmates from Jadavpur University joined ABP, Ananda Bazar Patrika, and as a GT, they started working at night for a hands-on experience. Dear students, you will not believe, out of X number of students, X by 2 number of students, within 1 month, they have fallen ill because they have started working against the biological rhythm or biological cycle. Yes, few people have very good immunity, so they have succeeded in that change also, but at least 50% was being troubled by the change of this biological cycle. So you have to understand, in this modern civilization, a human being spends 75% of his day in indoors. I repeat, 75% of the day, I am talking about city, indoors. Indoors means it can be your flat or home, it can be your office, it can be your clubhouse, it can be your club swimming pool, it can be your tennis club, it can be your swimming club, or anything. So, whether it is a playing ground, whether it is a swimming pool, whether it is a gym, whether it is a home, whether it is an office, everything is indoors. So we have never focused on this particular matter. But yes, COVID-19 has 99% negativity in the human civilization. But the 1% positivity includes online education and most importantly, this indoor environment quality assessment. And immediately, the entire world has now started focusing on this particular thing. Next. So, what I was discussing, you can see from here in management or in sustainable green building habitat engineering, it is called the snowball effect. People perform 10% better in a healthy office. And how this healthy office will be, you can see I have given the percentage of productivity when it is a healthy kind of office. I am not going into much detail because I can give lecture on this particular slide for 1 hour. So just for an idea, thumb rule, people, the same place you are sitting now, if I do the indoor environment quality rectification, your performance will be immediately increased by 10%. Next. Now, dear students, when I am talking about indoor environment quality, what all does it includes? It does not only include the condition of air. Yes, air is a major part, maybe more than 50%, but along with that, the indoor lighting and indoor acoustic also plays an very important role. Now, I will come one by one, starting from thermal comfort. Next. Dear students, those who are mechanical, they will have refrigeration and air conditioning in thermal engineering. Again, that particular subject as elective is also available. So when we are talking about thermal engineering, we have to consider what is the comfort condition for a human being to give best work output. As per ASHRAE, American Society for Heating, Refrigeration and Air Conditioning Engineers, a human being will be most comfortable and delivering the maximum output at 24 degrees centigrade dry bulb temperature and 17 degrees centigrade wet bulb temperature or 50% RH. It is recommended by ASHRAE, American Society for Heating, Refrigeration and Air Conditioning Engineers. Dear students, for Indian condition, we are not that much air conditioner friendly. Hence, the Indian wing of ASHRAE which is also known as ISHRI, and definitely having a student chapter in your college. I don't know whether it is still working or not. ISHRI,
Yes, sir. It's
the Indian
working.
Society for Heating, Refrigeration, Air Conditioning Engineers, changed the value a little bit and proposed for Indian condition, for Indian citizen, it is 26 degrees centigrade and up to 55% RH. Dear student, one thing I will highlight here, comfort doesn't mean hot, comfort doesn't mean cool also. That means if an Indian citizen is sitting at 24 degrees centigrade and shivering, then it is not a comfortable condition for that particular person. So that is why, based on Indian scenario and Indian citizen physical capabilities, in ISHRI has little modified the comfort condition for Indian climatic conditions. I repeat, it is approximately 26 degrees centigrade and 50 to 55% RH. Now, when I am switching on one air conditioner, basically it is removing the amount of heat, extra amount of heat, which is available in the room, causing discomfort. I repeat the sentence. The air conditioner will not remove the entire available heat from the room. Then the person will frozen and die. The air conditioner will remove the extra heat which is causing discomfort to that particular person. And once the extra heat is removed, the air conditioner will stop working. Again, there will be some heat accumulation in the room due to various leakages and heat transport phenomena as shown in the figure. It can be convection, it can be conduction, it can be radiation. So we can understand that the air conditioner will again remove the amount of leakage heat which got added to the thermal comfort heat. If I take thermal comfort heat as H and total heat is H plus delta H, so the air conditioner will only remove delta H and make the room total heat content as H. Again the air conditioner will stop. Again after few minutes, when the leakage delta H will be there, the AC will again start and remove the delta H, but it will never remove H plus delta H, because if it is removing the entire heat from the room, first of all, it is a discomfort for the human being, and at 0 degree centigrade, the human being will be frozen and he will die. Is this slide clear or any question? Professor Shomodeep and Professor Somnath, I can take questions in between. so that the concept is clear.
Okay, sir.
Any question?
Participant, do you have any questions?
Can I
Participant, do you have
proceed?
any question? Okay, sir, please carry on.
Okay, next slide. So here in this slide, I have shown various characteristics of indoor environment quality, especially into the thermal comfort part. These are the, you can say, sub criterias of thermal comfort. It is governed by, sorry, humidity, air speed, air temperature, radiant temperature, metabolic rate, and clothing insulations. So I'm not going into much more details because again, on this particular topic, I can talk for one day. It talks about the thermal or heat load calculation of air conditioning system. So I'm not going into detail, just giving you an idea. And you can also see the air speed, because when we are coming from outside, we immediately switch on the fan for some time so that we start feeling comfortable after some time. So what is the comfortable range of temperature and comfortable range of air speed? That graph is very much required for the indoor environment quality experts to give a proper solution. What solution, sir? I will switch on the AC, it will be comfortable. My dear student, you have to understand the AC can throw air up to 20 feet. And if your room is 30 feet, so 10 feet, the air circulation will not happen properly. So in that case, for a proper circulation, you need to give an additional fan so that, and what will be the fan speed? So that there is no noise, but there is a uniform cooling. So there are so many factors when an indoor environment quality expert is designing the IEQ of a commercial building or a shopping mall or hospital. Now coming to hospital, there will be so many criterias. For example, in any air conditioning system, there will be little part of fresh air and maximum part of return air. But operation theater is an application where you have 100% fresh air. So based on that, they have to design various kinds of air conditioning systems and equipments. Next. So I think I have touched the important factors of thermal comfort. Now moving to the next important criteria, indoor air quality. Next. Okay. So the indoor air quality, why it is so important in today's scenario? Because we have started understanding how the various SARS viruses are getting transmitted to human being. So just an flow diagram. I will not spend much because it is self-explanatory. Next. This is where I started my discussion of today. An common human being takes 1 kg of food per day. We can see a common human being generally will take 2.5 liters of water per day. We can see. But a common human being is breathing in and breathing out 12,000 liters of air per day. Is this number shocking? Tell me honestly. Did you ever thought of this? Students, I want answer in this. Yes or no? Isn't it shocking?
Please respond.
Hello?
No, sir. Yes, sir. So in the chat box section, you can see, sir.
No, you can unmute and tell. No, interaction is always better.
Right, sir. Right.
Yes, sir. It is shocking.
Hello?
Yes, sir. It is shocking.
It is shocking, no?
Yes, sir.
So a fly sitting on the cake is having 1% of chance to transmit a disease. A bottle of water having a chance of 2.5% of transmitting the cholera disease. But an airborne disease, a bacteria or virus, he is having 12,000% chance of transmitting the disease in human being. And this is not number. You have seen how the corona totally made the world upside down. People died like mosquitoes. In various countries on the roads, the dead bodies were found lying. So this is where the time has come immediately to focus, and we must take corrective actions. So as a mechanical engineer, as an electrical engineer, as an electronics engineer, as a civil engineer, we all must work towards a sustainable indoor environment, quality environment. I am repeating again, as an core field engineer, whether mechanical, electrical, civil, electronics, our goal must be same. We should work towards a sustainable indoor environment, quality place or space. And we cannot compromise with that quality. Next. Just an idea how small this coronavirus or equivalent particles are. It is some 1,000 fractions of the size diameter of the hair. You can see I'm not going into detail. Next. So indoor environment determines which microbes will survive and interact with occupants. Now, what do you mean by microbe? It is the virus and bacteria. The bad microbes are pathogens. Next. Now, how to control? First is, you can see least effective is personal protective equipments, the lowest one, PPE. Least effective, because you can be safe by wearing a mask. You can be safe by wearing a gloves, but you don't know in that particular area others are also safe or not. Yes, you have to follow and you have to use PPEs, but not for a overall improvement. It is for only personal safety. Then it is coming to administrative controls. You have seen people are working from home, people are maintaining social distancing, but again, it can be a remedial action for a temporary period. It cannot be lifelong. Then comes the most important engineering control. Now, why engineering control is in the middle? Because it is a optimum solution. I repeat, it is a optimum solution. It is neither the best solution nor the worst solution, but it is a feasible or viable solution. Why I am telling like this? Because if you are going for substitution, then you have to replace the entire atmosphere air. Is it possible? Can someone answer? Hello. Dear students. Hello.
Yes, sir. Student, please
Is it
respond.
possible to replace the hazard? That means to replace the entire atmosphere air? Hello. Students, kindly reply. Anyway, can some faculty reply?
There are some
Sir,
students
they are
are replying
replying in
here
the
in the
chat
chat
box.
box.
Hello.
Hello.
Sir, they are replying in the chat box.
Okay. But I cannot see the chat box due to low connectivity.
Oh,
So
okay,
what they
okay,
are
okay.
writing?
They are writing, someone is writing no, sir. Someone is writing yes, sir.
No, it cannot be replaced. How can you totally
Cannot,
replace the
exactly.
atmosphere air? It is impossible. But theoretically, it is a solution. Similarly, physically remove the hazard. So, assume a theoretical machine. From one side, we are giving input the entire atmospheric air. From other side, the pure air is coming out, and it has to happen for the entire world atmosphere. Is it also not possible? But this is a theoretical solution. So what we can do, we cannot replace the entire atmospheric air. We cannot replace the entire bacteria, virus from the water. But we can ensure the water we are drinking is not having bacteria and virus by using a proper filter. Similarly, we can ensure the indoor environment where we are sleeping at home, the indoor environment where we are working for 8 to 10 hours, office, is not having this kind of bacteria and virus recirculated. I am not telling it is not coming. Out of 100 people, one people can be infected and can be a vector for that particular virus or bacteria. But we have to clean the indoor air repeatedly so that the time the bacteria or virus is entering the indoor environment, it is going back to the air conditioner filter. Definitely, it is not a plastic filter, it is a special type of filter known as HEPA filter. It is going to the HEPA filter and it is filtered. So, the air which is constantly supplied into the indoor environment is as far as pure to ensure our safety. So this is why the engineering control, ventilation, filtration, indoor environment quality control methods, those are the most feasible controls. Next. So here I have given various kinds of bacteria and virus. This is taken from a research journal actually. So researchers have found the higher humidity decelerates the spread of virus. So if it is more rainy atmosphere, spread. Next. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here again I am showing that what I have been talking about, how the airborne virus and diseases are spread. The large craft droplets of fall on nearby surfaces and objects such as desks and tables. People can get infected by touching those contaminated surfaces and then touching their eyes, nose or mouth. Next. Here also the same thing, the more finer the particle, it will travel more in the air. Next. Other transmission routes, so you can see the fecal transmission of infection is recognized
Sir, you
by
are not audible.
WHO. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah. Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Sir, you are not audible.
But someone told I am audible.
Yes.
Yes.
Audible, sir.
Audible.
Audible, sir.
Okay. So you can also see the fecal transmission of infection is recognized by WHO. Flushing toilets creates plumes in the air containing droplets and droplet residue when toilets are flushed with open lids. I'm not going into detail, but this for your information. Similarly, till now we have only spoke about the virus bacteria part, organic part. Now coming to the inorganic part also, there is carbon monoxide coming from the parking place. There is carbon dioxide, formaldehyde, nitrogen oxide, lead, particulate matter. People will smoke. So from there, all this kind of indoor air quality pollutants will come. Next. So I have given a basic guideline where the basic indoor air quality parameters are classified. You can see it is class A, class B and class C. So based on the various classifications, you can have 3 categories of classification. The best one is definitely class C, and you can see how they are maintaining. Now few more criterias. Next. Now till now we have only spoke about air, that is thermal comfort and indoor air quality. One more important thing in the indoor space is lighting. And lighting, till date we know, lighting in a house or lighting in our classroom means only a bulb or a tube light. Maximum, the tube light will be replaced with a CFL or LED kind of energy efficient bulb. But the world has gone way beyond our idea of lighting. So let us just have an idea how the world is moving with the indoor environment quality and its lighting quality criteria. So why we should next. So why we should study light? In the built environment, it is reasonable to say that majority of our experiences are visual. Sound, smell and touch certainly play various roles. But most people rely on vision to deliver a very large quantity of information. Thus, to have the maximum control of the designed environment, we must become intimate with light and learn to make it our ally in translating design. So lighting design plays a very, very important role in the indoor environment quality. Next. So what are the lighting conditions? Just a brief idea. These things are not available in any textbook, but dear students, when you are entering the industry, each and every step as an expert, you have to know all these details. Otherwise, you will be trainee engineer for lifelong. So that's why I am giving some highlights what is required apart from your textbook knowledge. I repeat, I am focusing on the portions apart or extra from your textbook knowledge which is directly required for the industry. So in lighting conditions, you can see non-image forming effects and visual effects. So under that, there are many categories. Next. So here I have given BEE, Bureau of Energy Efficiency recommended various illuminance factors, what is required and what is preferred. So when you are designing the lighting part of indoor environment quality, you have to take those data, you have to consider those data from lighting handbooks. Next. Now, as a lighting designer, definitely like mechanical designer, we depend on AutoCAD. As electrical designer, we depend on MATLAB and other softwares. Similarly, as a lighting expert, you have to depend on two types of softwares. Two types means two different verticals. One is radiosity and ray tracing. I'm not going into much detail. I think Professor Somnath, we are a little slow from time, correct?
Yes, sir. No problem. Carry on, sir.
Okay, I can take another extra 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
No problem. No problem. You can take 10 to 15 minutes also.
Okay. So just next slide. So here I have mentioned few lighting softwares which you may know or you may not know, but definitely those are highly used and utilized in the lighting industry and indoor environment quality industry.
You are not audible, sir.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, we are able to hear. Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, at least one student spoke out. I think Aishwarya. Thank you.
That is
Yes,
Preetam
sir.
also, sir.
Aishwarya, can you give me a honest feedback? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Don't think your professor will cut marks if you tell me honestly. I will
No,
tell
sir, no,
Professor
sir.
Shomodeep and Professor Somnath not to hear you. Is this webinar giving you some food for thought and some extra from your textbook?
Yes, sir, definitely.
Tell me honestly. Hello.
Sir. Definitely, sir. It is giving an extra feedback other than the study, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So now we are going through the lighting design softwares, namely Dialux, Dialux Evo, AGI 32, Relux, Lighting Reality, drawing softwares we commonly know as AutoCAD, Revit, SolidWorks, 3D softwares like SketchUp, 3D Max, Peacon Planner, and so on. So those softwares are mainly targeted for the lighting design field. And which are the lighting project companies? For example, Philips, they have their lighting project design division. Bajaj Electricals, they have their lighting design team. My friend who graduated with me in electronics from Jadavpur University, he is now a zonal head for this South design division. Okay, so electrical engineers has a very good scope in lighting design, because nowadays, trust me, that only fit a socket and fit a bulb and forget, that concept has gone. I will go into more details how light plays an emotional role. I repeat, how light plays an emotional role. I will show in the next slides. Next. Next. Hello. So we will quickly focus on these four criterias. One is horticultural lighting. Other than our room lighting, horticultural lighting is now a very big industry. Okay, because we are producing agriculture and horticulture products very fast, so we cannot depend on 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. 12 hours of the day. We have doubled the time of light, so we are doing artificial horticultural lighting for the horticultural and agricultural products. Then we will talk about LAS and circular economy. Not in detail. LAS is lighting as a surface. As I already told you, this Philips and Bajaj, they have their own project design division. Then light pollution, light fusion, and various kinds of lighting. Next. So here you can see how many types of lighting are now used. Ambient lighting, task lighting, ambient lighting. So please go through the pictures very carefully. You see everywhere there is a light, but all the lights are having their different objective. So ambient lighting, it can be in the dining hall, it can be in the conference room. Task lighting, it can be in the buffet hall where buffet dinner or food is given. Or task lighting can be on your workstation desk also. Then accent lighting. Accent lighting, you can think of an auditorium, you can also think of a jewelry showroom or a museum where things are kept with spotlights. Next. So here I have given some brief details about each and every type of lighting. I'm not going into detail due to time. Next. I have a lot to cover. Here also in this picture you can see how we are smartly designing a room which having accent lighting, task lighting, ambient lighting, as well as natural day lighting. So we are not telling, it is a wrong concept that all the commercial buildings are switching on their light 24/7, IT companies mainly. It is a wrong concept. We copied from US and Europe. They do not have sunlight as we have in India. So their design is different. But till date, we have copied everything. So we have also started switching on the light of office for 24/7. As you know, IT companies are running 24/7. But dear student, it is a wrong concept that we understood now. So nowadays, as indoor environment quality experts, we are also giving equal importance to day lighting, as you can see in that particular picture. So here I have shown the Level of lighting, higher level lighting, low level lighting, diffuse lighting with examples. Next. Psychology of light, very, very important. The emotional impact. Subjective impressions of space are a function of brightness, contrast. The relationship of surfaces that are lightened to those that are left in comparative darkness. So, you can understand in a jewelry showroom, they have to sell the jewel and not the showroom. So they will put spotlights on the jewelry and they will not light up the entire showcase so that your attention gets distracted or diluted. So that is the psychology of lighting we have to understand. Next. Here again I have given some examples how enhance of eliminating texture, then show or hide details. See, left picture also two girls are dancing, right picture also two girls are dancing. In left picture we are seeing the girls and background is black. In the right picture we cannot see the girls, but we can understand the dancing as well. So these kind of different kind of industrial lighting designs are now taking place. Help star on emotions. So that various parks are now being having various kinds of entertaining lights and all. So Elliot Park and there are many parks in Kolkata also, where some dancing fountain and lighting will be there, light and sound show. So light is now utilized as human emotion catalyst. Okay, next. Few example of architectural lighting you can see. Next. Light also impacts on our health. 1 second. Yeah, sorry, I took some water. So you can see it from this picture. Blue light has dark side, wide awake night. If a light is falling on your eyes, you cannot sleep properly, making us sleepy during the day if it is a gloomy light. So light plays a very important emotional role. It touches your emotions. Next. Next. Yeah, I already told about horticultural lighting for fast horticultural and agricultural produce. You can see top lighting, inter lighting, vertical farming and so on. Not going into details. There are various applications. Next. There are various applications of lighting. You can see inter lighting, indoor, vertical farming, home farming, greenhouse, cultivation in space, multi-layer cultivation, stadium, lawn maintenance and all these things. Dear students, many of those things have not started in India, but if you search YouTube, you can see a lot of countries have drastically improved their agricultural and horticultural production with this lighting technology. So please go through these kind of things. Don't only confine yourself in the electrical or mechanical or civil engineering textbooks. Next. Just for your idea, I will not go into details. Types of light pollution, sky glow, trespass, glare, over illumination. Source of light pollutions are street lighting, commercial lights. See, for example, you are sleeping at room in your bedroom and you just little bit opened your window and a street light is falling on your eyes, so it is causing pollution. You cannot sleep with that light on your eyes. So that is what is called light pollution. So similarly, street lighting, commercial lights, urban areas, yard lights, okay, road lights, decorative outdoor lights will actually pollute the natural lighting or the natural environment lighting. Next. Now, last but not the least, we are coming to the acoustic comfort criteria. I will not go into detail because we already finished our time, allocated time. So I'll just show you the various kinds of sound, their outdoor noises and their decibels. Next. And the limits, which is which all limits are data are available from the handbooks of design. So dear students, please go through at a glance, because when you are joining the industry, all those data will be required when you are designing an indoor environment quality certified building, which is also nowadays known as green building or net zero energy building. So all these criteria you have to take care, and you have to be, what I told first, you have to be a truly multidisciplinary engineer. You cannot tell, I am a civil engineer, I will not do this, I am an electrical engineer, I will not do this, I am a mechanical engineer, I will not do this. Industry will just think you as a doctor. Any problem, you will go to the doctor, whether it is a stomach pain, whether it is a back pain, whether it is a headache, whether it is a fever, you will just go to the doctor who is just MBBS. Now the doctor will guide you to go to some specialist based on your requirement, but first you will go to the doctor. Similarly, you are an engineer. You cannot differentiate, I am only civil, I am only mechanical, I am only electronics, I am only electrical. I am very clear on this because I have been working with industry for 10 years in India as well as abroad. So there is no demarcation what engineer you are. So you have to know all these things. Very clear. So next. Thank you, students. Thank you for patient listening, and thank you, Professor Shomodip, Professor Shomnath, and all my fellow faculties who are joining this and giving me a patient listening. Thank you so much. Over to you, Shomnath, Professor Shomnath.
Thank you, sir, for such a wonderful and informative presentations. It will help us to improve our knowledge regarding your topic, actually, that indoor environment quality. And there is several topics you will cover, and which is very important. That is normal circadian rhythm of human life, similarly eliminating hazard. So these are the different topics that you covered, and that will help us too. And you actually give us your valuable time also. Thank you so much, sir, for your precious time to giving me and giving us actually. And hope we will meet another day with very interesting topic. Thank you once again, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank
much
you, sir.
to the entire GMIT team.
Yes,
Hello.
Hello.
Sir, thank you so much, sir. It was very nice to hear after a long period. So it was a very wonderful session, and I hope that all of the students who are attending today got a deep knowledge about this indoor air quality. And I hope that the fourth year students, they will get enough knowledge which may help them in different placement scenarios also.
so
So,
we'll officially we can end the session.
Sir, can I ask a question?
Yeah,
Sure,
yeah,
sure.
please.
sure.
All of
Please.
you had been quiet. I was shouting only. Tell me.
Yes, sir. My question is how the lightning design is being takes place. Is it working in all those three design software simultaneously, or how is it working? Actually, the design process, how it works.
Okay, your good name?
So my name is Shovit Maiti.
You are student, correct?
Yes, sir. I'm from fourth year student, mechanical.
Okay. Shovik, excellent question. Thank you so much. First, you have to understand what is design and what is drafting. There is a difference between design and drafting. But in India, we confuse between design and drafting. We call AutoCAD as a design software, which is a very big wrong statement. AutoCAD is a drafting software. It will draw the drafting. It will draw and it will do the drafting for you. Then, what is design? Design is nothing but mathematics. As a mechanical engineer, you are a mechanical engineering student.
Yes, sir.
So, as a mechanical engineer, when I am telling you to design a nut bolt, the nut bolt will be designed against some load or force. And from that force, number one, from the nut bolt material criterias, number two, slowly we will come to the values, answer of the nut bolt diameter, nut bolt length, shank length, and blah 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 blah. So, design is 75% mathematics and 25% what data you got from the mathematical calculation that you are putting in a graphical form for all to understand. So, my dear student, if we are telling that we are doing the lighting design, there are two parts. First of all, if I have a classroom, just tell me arbitrarily, in your classroom, how many tube lights are there?
Sir, it's about 8 to 10.
One classroom is 10 tube lights, and per tube light, what is the wattage?
40.
So total, how much wattage in one classroom?
400.
Just assume you have 10 classrooms in that building, and what will be the electric meter reading for these 10 classrooms? Hello? Into 10.
Yes, sir. It's 4 kilowatt.
So this is what is called design. Now, after you have designed what is the individual classroom requirement, then you multiplied with the number of rooms, then you multiplied with the number of floors, then finally you are getting the total meter rating which you need to apply to CESC or West Bengal State Electricity Corporation. That is what is called design. Now, if you give this calculation to an electrician, definitely he will be a ITI pass. He will not understand anything. Because as a BTech engineer, you have analyzing capability. But an ITI electrician do not have analyzing capability. So then, those 10 tube lights, where you want to be placed in the AutoCAD drawing, a ITI draftsman will draw that, take a printout, and then one ITI electrician will execute. Are you clear with the process? What is design and what is drafting?
Yes, sir.
So have I answered your question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What was your question?
So my question was, how the design process is being takes place for this lightning system.
So what is my answer?
So your answer is, first of all we have to design. Design means we have to calculate all those things where we
Now
want to.
that calculation can be manual. For
Yeah.
time saving, you can use Excel sheet or some other Python program or C program for repetitive calculations.
Okay.
So that is what is called design. And later part is drafting. That will be done by ITI draftsman under your guidance. Latter part is electrician. It will be installed under your guidance.
Okay.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
Excellent question. Any other question?
Participant, do you have any questions, please?
Professor Somnath, Professor Somodeep, I think I have answered the question in a
Right,
right form.
right, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Absolutely, sir. So I think there
Anybody
is.
else have anyone? Okay, so Aishwarya is feeling that no more questions. So therefore, we can conclude today's program. So
Yes,
here
yes,
is a
please.
thank you note for you, sir. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your valuable thoughts and sharing the knowledge. I hope that we will again meet and we'll do another webinar regarding the topic related to RAC. Thank you, sir. It was
Thank you so much, Team GMIT.
Thank you, sir.
thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir.
So,
Officially, we are closing this program.
right. So the link will be open for only 30 minutes. Please fill up the form, Google form, which is given in the chat box within the specified time.